All right, so now I'm also sitting down with Rita Mazalevskis. I hope I pronounced that one right. She is the number 2 Senate candidate for Fraser Anting's party in the Socialist Republic of Victoria. She is also a victim of banking, did you say? A victim of the banks, and an advocate for another Royal Commission into the banks, one that maybe has a little bit more teeth. So, Rita, just tell us about who you are and what you stand for and why you decided to join the party.
Okay, so I've worked in the corporate sector my whole life. I was working with my uncle through one of his horrors of the banks trying to steal his farm, through the primary producers inquiry, and through that process I met Fraser's assistant Leon Ashby. Then Fraser held a media event in Canberra in August last year for bank victims from all across Australia, because the Royal Commission didn't give people a voice to tell their story. There were only 26 victims that got to tell their story. So he held an event and we heard horror banking stories about the criminal conducts of the banks, people that lost their home, people living on the street, have absolutely nothing, lost their business, lost their family, in some cases lost their life. We have to put a stop to that. He's kindly given me this platform to continue to work with our bank warriors for all bank victims across Australia, because people in Australia don't know what they don't know. We need to start saving people's homes and saving Australians' lives.
So is part of your platform also to inform the Australian people just exactly how much control the banks have over our country, and the fact that the central bank is essentially dictating a number of policies to the government? You know, they threw their donations in the banks, and just the fact that they can control the money supply and the rate of interest using what is essentially just paper money created out of nothing. Are you going to be working to stop that, or what sort of policies do you actually want to implement?
Well, that's our aim. The first thing we're working on is the Royal Commission last year was based on a very narrow terms of reference, which the banks worked with the Commission to put in place. So they didn't actually talk about the real issues. We need a Royal Commission 2.0 with expanded terms of reference to expose the actual criminal crimes and fraud and everything to do with the whole financial sector. This has to be expanded to go to lawyers, receivers, smaller financial entities, and everybody associated with the banks. Yes, we want to expose what they do with our homes, where they, as soon as you sign up for a home and get a loan, that they either sell your mortgage or your asset and you don't know about it, and you're no longer the legal owner and you pay for it for 30 years. We need to educate the Australian people and let them know what the banks are doing, because it's absolutely corrupt.
Yeah, I do agree that there definitely needs to be something done about what the banks are doing to our country. From my point of view, it's just a symptom of the central banking system, in that they have the power to create the money, and therefore they essentially have the power to dictate how the economy is run, and ultimately how the politicians do their business. As they say, you know, the golden rule, the one with the gold who makes the rules, and they literally make the gold. Therefore, they both they make the gold and they make the rules, and they can arbitrarily enforce them as well.
Exactly. Unfortunately, the banks think they're above our laws. They don't abide by our laws. They don't abide by what they should be through our regulators. Our regulators aren't doing their job, but in saying that, hopefully as a outcome of the first Royal Commission, that people like ASIC and APRA and some of the regulators will now do their job properly and enforce their powers in regards to the banks. But we'll be working across the whole realm of the whole banking sector to protect Australians and protect hard-working Australians who have poured all their money into their property and save them from losing them in the future.
Fantastic, and I'm asking this of all candidates today. Do you follow the football, and if so, which team?
I do.
Who do you go for?
Well, I was born in Victoria. I've also lived in WA, so I have 2 teams, Carlton and Dockers.
Wow, you poor thing.
I know, so when they play.
Oh no! Oh no! Well, the Dockers are, I don't know. Well, at least if Carlton have been on the bottom for the last 30 years or something, whatever it is, so you've maybe had a little bit of victory with the Dockers, but I don't know if you're going to ever win a flag either with either side.
Well, Carlton's because my dad went for Carlton and I'm a Freo girl, so I'm loyal. Yeah.
Fair enough. thank you very much for joining us. Best of luck in the Senate. Hopefully you can get enough votes in the Senate to win a seat. It is Victoria, though,
but this is a very important subject. Australia does not know what it does not know. We need to educate and get the story out and the facts out, and we need to help all Australians.
Yeah, that's exactly right. The banks have way too much control over our currency. We shouldn't even have any kind of I believe we shouldn't have any kind of central control of currency creation. It should be completely decentralised, whether that's cryptocurrency, precious metals, or some way of
a public bank.
A public bank where at least the people are controlling how currency is operated, and it's out of the hands of the elites. It's out of the hands of
too much greed going on in this country, and it's become ridiculous.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
We'll see you next time.